Hi, my name is Marla Turgeon, and I'm your instructional librarian here at Sandburg College. This video is a basic presentation that I do for face-to-face classes. So let's start with the basics, which is what are databases? Well, they're collections of information arranged for quick and easy searching on your computer. Databases can be found all over the web for a variety of reasons, but the type of databases that we use in the college library are for scholarly articles, books, and films. Now, let's talk about searching in the databases. When you go out and search for something in Google, you can use complete sentences like, "How do I get a passport?" But when you search in a database, we need to speak to it in a language it will understand to get it to work efficiently. So how I do that is to choose keywords to search with that are the main concepts or ideas of my topic, which in this case are economic, agriculture, and climate change. So the first step is to come up with your keywords. And by the way, I used the entire question in a database search, and you can see I got way too many results, over 500,000. So I just said we need to speak to the database's language to get it to work correctly. Well, Boolean operators are going to help us do that. They are words that connect your keywords to each other in a search and tell the database what to do with those words. And there are a few different operators we can use. In my example, I had more than one keyword, so I used the Boolean operator AND between those keywords. Using the word AND tells the database that your search results must include every one of your search terms. So I typed in economic and agriculture and climate change for this search. And by the way, I received 42,000 results with this search compared to the 600,000 with the full sentence search. So then what's going to happen is that the database is going to push the articles that contained each of those keywords to the top of the results list. And here you can see that the keywords are highlighted in the text of this article. So our main takeaway here is using the word AND between those keywords told the database to search for each of the words in the articles. So the next Boolean operator is OR. OR is going to tell the database that you want results that mention one or more of your search terms. This example, I was searching the subject early childhood education, and going through the results, I found that authors were using their term preschool and nursery school to mean the exact same thing. So I used OR between the keywords to help broaden my search. If I only used one of the terms, I may miss some information that could be useful. So our main takeaway from this is, by using OR between the keywords, my results could include either term, but not necessarily both like they do with AND. Now here's something I want you to keep in mind. You may or may not get the results that contain all of your keywords. Sometimes the database does not use the same words that you might be using to index their articles. Databases are a higher level of searching than a typical Google search. They are more controlled with word choices. With that said, the database could be using different forms or synonyms of the keywords you're using. And you may need to rethink your keyword choices when researching a subject. And sometimes that's where the Boolean operator OR can come in handy with you. Another Boolean operator you can use are quotation marks. If you notice that phrases are showing up separately in your results, then put quotation marks around them to keep those words together. A lot of times this helps with author's names or a person's name. Put those quotation marks around them. If not, you could end up with, say if you're searching for John Smith, you could end up with the word John in one paragraph and the word Smith in another. So use those quotation marks and it'll push it together for you. So next, let's talk about the difference between magazines and periodicals or journals. Scholarly journals are aimed at specialists, professors, researchers, and students. Magazines are usually for the general public, and they have advertisements and lots of opinion articles. In magazines, only 1 or 2 people review and edit an article, and these 1 or 2 people may not be experts in the subject area of that article. Now, I'm not saying that popular magazines are always bad to use, but you need to remember the differences depending on the type of research you need for writing papers. Is your professor saying that they only want credible or peer-reviewed articles for it? If so, then you're going to find them in scholarly journals. So, speaking of peer review, articles that are written for scholarly journals are peer-reviewed, and this means that other experts in the same field review the article and give feedback to the author. Now, these experts have studied in their field for years, many of which have PhDs. And it's after this review of the article by the experts that the journal editor determines if the article should be accepted or rejected. And this happens so that the journal knows that the information is accurate and without any types of bias. This is also a long and expensive process too. It takes a long time to have your article published in a scholarly journal. And of course, all of these experts need to be paid, so that's why it's so expensive. So this is the point where I'd like to point out that when you're on the web, maybe you're in Google Scholar, and you find an article that has a paywall, contact us here in the library and we'll find it for you. We'll do something called an interlibrary loan, or ILL, and we'll go out and we'll ask another library if they have access to that article, and then they'll send it to us for you. All right, so what you've learned is what a database is, about Boolean operators and, or, and quotation marks, the difference between a scholarly journal and a popular magazine, and that peer-reviewed articles go through a very long process to be published to be sure that it's accurate information for us.